He threw one punch at me. He didn't have to really move or anything. He just sort of got up out of his seat a little and he threw one punch at me. And then I was like caught really, really off guard. I did not expect it at all. And after he threw that punch, the wall I was on was where the door was, and the door was open. So I saw that as escape. So after he threw the first punch, I started walking away and I started like heading to the door. And as I'm heading to the door, he gets up, he comes behind me, and he starts throwing punches. And mind you, this whole soul at my back was turned. I did not expect any of these punches or anything. And when he started throwing the punches, they were from the back, but they were going around to the front of my face. That's why all the damage was on the left side of my face because he was throwing punches from the back, but he was hitting the side. And I'm not sure. I was obviously really dizzy at that point. I was already in like my concussion stage. And so I was really like dizzy and but I still wanted to escape. So I was still up on my feet and he still kept hitting like maybe 5, 6 punches. I'm not exactly sure. Um, and then I finally end up getting to the door and he's still behind me. And this is what was on camera footage that for some reason the school's refusing to give it. But my brother and my dad watched it. Was I don't really remember a lot of it, but after they watched the footage, it kind of came back to me when they described it. I was at the door and he was still behind me and I was holding my head and then I started walking. He came, he was still behind me the whole time. He pushed me into the locker. He pushed my head into the locker and I had a big, big bump on the back of my head. And then he was just really sort of tossing me around, I guess. Like, I'm not fully sure, but he was still coming after me. So, you know, clearly he purposely was aiming for my head because only my head was being punched and pushed around. And then a he was during all of this attack, he was screaming slurs, he was screaming all sorts of things like very loudly. And a teacher that was like in front of my class all the way to the left, like she's that wall that's in front of my class to the left, she had I had realized she opened the door and by then I was already in front of her door from all the like hitting and stuff and trying to escape. And so, she peeks her head out, and I just ended up grabbing her shoulder, and all I said was, "I think I have a concussion," and he's still screaming. And then at that point, on the camera footage, they saw my math teacher come out and just wrap his arm around his shoulder like a side hug and just walk him away. That's all. And then a administrator, every hall and floor usually has an office and an administrator's in it, and I remembered, and so he sorta was walking towards me, I think maybe, and I had saw his office, so I had immediately went into there. A student was in there. He looked at me like really terrified and how much it hurt, like the assault. It hurt so much that I didn't know what damage was done. I didn't expect it till I realized I looked at my hand and I just saw blood everywhere.